What's up, Tier 2? It is time to talk Raw Night 2 of the huge WWE Draft. And they do the exact same thing pretty much that they did on SmackDown. They open up with a match for the first pick. Becky Lynch representing Raw versus Charlotte representing SmackDown. So they cut generic promos during the match. They have a pre-match brawl. We go to commercial, come back, have a long-ass match. It's almost like 20 minutes or something like that. And Becky wins with the roll-up, so Raw gets the first pick. Just like on SmackDown. And just like how Vince pointed out, I remember what show he pointed out on. It's pretty obvious since they have 3 picks. They're going to go first. But anyway, we go to Charlie with Seth Rollins. And she asks him about Bray Wyatt. Then he starts talking like a cheese ball, of course. But he says tonight he's going fiend hunting. And before the night is over, he will find him and he will burn it down. Now that's a decent hook. Now you want to remember that. I just said that. That's a decent hook. He said before the end of the night, I will find the fiend. I'm giving them credit for giving them a hook right here. But remember that as we go through this show. So now we see the stupid ass war rooms again, just like SmackDown. They're all going crazy on the phones, you know, like hanging up the one phone, picking up the cell phone. Paper's like, who are they talking to? There's nobody to talk to. You have a roster. Like, you're presenting this as real. There's nobody for them to talk to if this is real. Everybody's already under contracts. You're just dividing the roster. There's nobody to talk to except the people in the room. Hey, who do you want? All right, cool. So Stephanie comes out for the draft again. We have the first round of the second group of eligible people. Raw gets Seth Rollins. SmackDown gets Brock Lesnar. Raw gets Charlotte. SmackDown gets New Day. And then Raw gets Andrade 5th. Do you remember this? Andrade, 5th pick here as we go through the rest of the night. So then we go to the draft panel again. Same thing as SmackDown. Then we have a meaningless match, Andrade versus Ali. Andrade over. Got to put over that 5th pick, right? So, of course, what does this do? He won a match against Ali. Did we give any character development to Andrade? No. So Stephanie comes out for round 2. Raw picks the Kabuki Warriors. And SmackDown picks Daniel Bryan. And the Raw War Room is upset. Well, first let's look at this. Why would they pick Andrade over Daniel Bryan if this was real? Does that make any sense? Secondly, right after SmackDown picks Daniel Bryan, Stephanie announces the next pick that Raw picks Rusev. So what is, she already has the pick. Raw already had to have known that Daniel Bryan was picked when they gave her the Rusev pick. So why are they getting all pissed off that Daniel Bryan was just picked by SmackDown and they couldn't get him, but Stephanie already has the pick on the card for the next pick? Does that make any sense? They didn't call Stephanie, all right, I see they took Daniel Bryan, we'll take Rusev. They're not on the clock. She's immediately going pick. So where's she getting this info from if they didn't already do this ahead of time, and they would have obviously known that Daniel Bryan was not available when they told her, all right, we'll take Rusev, instead of waiting and watching and flipping out when SmackDown picks Daniel Bryan? Makes no sense. So like I said, Raw picks Rusev, SmackDown picks Bayley, and Raw picks Aleister Black. Okay. So then we have Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus the Viking Raiders. Tag team title match. Viking Raiders go over. They're the new Raw tag team champions. So let's look at this. Why did they have Bobby Roode and Ziggler beat Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman? Why did they make them tag team champions? What did that accomplish? Oh, we want to move them to SmackDown, so we got to get the belts off of them. Let's change the meaningless belts again. Great. This whole title reign meant nothing. You didn't build these guys as a tag team. Nothing. You had them beat those guys for nothing. This title reign was meaningless. All right, fine. Get them to SmackDown. Why? I don't know. But you pull the belts off them. Another meaningless Raw tag title change. The Viking Raiders, who aren't even over, are your champs. So then we get the NHL on NBC team, and they say who the wrestlers they would pick if they were drafting them to the NHL. What is the point of this? They had some podcast guy on earlier in the show, and the stupid SNL Weekend Update guys. This is so stupid. I can't believe after they lost 1 million viewers on SmackDown, they did not make adjustments and went with the exact same format for this show. So then the Viking Raiders cut a backstage promo putting over how they won the belts, and then they talk about all the championships they've won, and they mention Ring of Honor. Seriously? Why are they putting Ring of Honor over on WWE television? And then they say the raid is here. Okay, all right, great. Maybe if we cared who these guys were before they won the belts, when they win the belts, it would mean something. So Stephanie comes out for round 3. Raw picks Cedric Alexander. And then SmackDown picks the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. So let me get this straight. Raw would rather have Cedric Alexander on their show than the Intercontinental Championship. If this is real and they pick Nakamura, they have that belt now on their show. So even if Nakamura loses the belt or they don't want Nakamura, they still have this prestigious championship. But they'd rather have Cedric Alexander. Do you see how the people writing this cannot write this like it's real? Because this makes no sense. Andrade, by the way, earlier round before the Intercontinental belt. So then Raw picks Humberto Carrillo. Who? Who the hell is this? No idea who this guy is. He's on 205 Live. That's great. SmackDown picks Ali, and then Raw picks Eric Rowan. So Eric Rowan, who just got this big monstrous push on SmackDown, trying to kill Roman Reigns. Raw takes this other guy, Humberto Carrillo, before they would pick Eric Rowan. So then we have Aleister Black versus Eric Young. They say that Eric Young was signed as a free agent by Raw over the weekend. They've done nothing with this guy, and he's just in the ring. So they're putting him out there like they would any indie jobber that they have come in and do a jobber match. Do the casual fans watching this know who Eric Young is? Yo, you say he signed to a contract. Great. Nobody cares. You haven't done anything with him. This is a jobber match. All right. And Aleister Black squashes him. What did this do? Nothing. So Stephanie comes out for round 4. Raw picks Buddy Murphy. SmackDown picks Rude and Ziggler, so there's the switch. Raw picks Jinder Mahal. Forgot he was even on this roster. SmackDown picks Carmella. And then Raw picks R-Truth, so they're splitting them up. So who knows where that's going. So we go to the Street Profits, and they were happy that they were drafted to Raw. And then the OC come up, and they tell them that Raw belongs to the OC, and then the OC beat up the Street Profits. Great. So then we have Ricochet versus Shelton Benjamin. So we've had 4 matches so far. The tag team title match and 3 meaningless ass matches. We've had Andrade versus Ali. We've had Aleister Black versus Eric Young. And now Ricochet versus Shelton Benjamin. These are the matches you're putting on TV on this show. These matches mean nothing. Ricochet goes over. Great. What did this do? Do we now think he's a superhero even though he doesn't do anything to do his superheroes are real catchphrase? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. So this is really weird. Lana's getting a massage from a woman. And the woman asks if it's the right kind of pressure. And she says, no, I like it harder. Then they go to commercial. We come back from commercial. This woman is still giving Lana a massage. The woman says that she can go deeper if she wants. Lana says, yes, I like it deeper. I'm not making this up, guys. This is the real dialogue on the show. I don't understand, like, we're TV PG, and then we're going to say stuff like this. Like, I don't get it. Just do this. If you're going to do this, go out full out and do it. Be TV 14. So then Lashley comes in and takes over for the masseuse. And Lana tells him that Rusev was never this good. And then she says, how about I flip over? So she flips over and Lashley lifts up the towel and starts to rub her on the front. And then that's it. That was the follow-up. So we don't even have Rusev following up anything with this Lana stuff because they don't know how to write it. Rusev's not even on the show. So Jerry Lawler's in ring with Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury for a contract signing. Braun says in Saudi Arabia, Tyson's stepping into his world, and he's going to give him his first loss ever. He's going to get these hands. And he signs a contract, and then Tyson signs. And he says that he and his family are at SmackDown because his kids are big fans of Braun, and they wanted to see Braun. And he's not out of his element in any ring, and he's going to knock Braun out. And then they both stand up, and Lawler gets the hell out of there, which was funny. So Braun breaks the table. And then Tyson Fury breaks a pen in half after pretending that he can't. Like, I don't even know what this was. I don't get it. Like, he was going, like, looking around, like, selling that he couldn't break the pen. And then he breaks it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what this was. I don't understand. Is this, like, his gimmick? Like, is he goofy in real life in boxing? Like, I don't get it. This made no sense to me. Somebody explain to me why he's pretending he can't break a pen and then breaks a pen and then walks out of the ring. So now Al Roker and some other guy do generic draft talk. Like, they think they're getting the rub with this. Like, are people that watching Al Roker in the morning tuning into WWE right now because he's on there? So Stephanie comes out for Raw round 5. Raw takes Samoa Joe and SmackDown takes The Miz. The Miz goes here. The Miz goes here. Okay, Andrade. Humberto Carrillo. Ali. Buddy Murphy. These are all people that this is supposed to be real that are getting picked before The Miz. Does that make any sense? So, Raw takes Akira Tozawa, and then SmackDown takes Baron Corbin. Again, Baron Corbin's going this late. This guy you've been giving this monstrous push to, who you put in the ring with The Rock on SmackDown. You got Akira Tozawa going the pick before your King of the Ring winner and Baron Corbin. You got some other schmuck going 2 rounds earlier that nobody's ever heard of. Miz is in this round. Baron Corbin's in this round. What are they doing? How does this make sense to anybody? So then Raw takes Shelton Benjamin. USA is clearly impressed with his loss earlier to Ricochet. And now we have another pointless match. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. These got to be the worst matches ever on a Raw with meaningless people. Nothing. So Buddy Murphy goes over, and again, why should anyone care? Why should anyone care who wins this match? Tell me one thing about Cedric Alexander and tell me one thing about Buddy Murphy. Tell me any of their characteristics. Tell me their gimmicks. Tell me their what makes them different from each other. Why should I care that one wins over the other? God, it's like they don't even care to write characters anymore. So now we get some NBC soccer people talking about the draft, and all they do is put over crowd chants. Yeah, that's what we need, more of that. Good job. So Stephanie comes out for the last round. Raw picks Rey Mysterio. Okay, again, Rey Mysterio, last round pick. Look at all these schmucks that have gone before him. Realistic. This makes sense? SmackDown picks Shorty Gable. Raw picks Titus O'Neil, who they never use on TV, but he's in the draft. And then SmackDown picks Elias. Elias, this late. Elias. And then the last pick, Raw picks Liv Morgan. All right, somebody explain this to me. We're picking this. Is this supposed to be real? So if network executives are picking this, they're either going to pick, if this is real, who's going to win matches, or who's going to draw eyeballs to the TV. So why in God's name would they pick Liv Morgan and not Mandy Rose? Mandy Rose wasn't even drafted. This monstrous push, her and DeVille, they weren't drafted. But Liv Morgan, who's not on TV, we're drafting Liv Morgan? This makes no sense. Remember months and months ago when Liv Morgan left and said she was going to come back as the real her? When the hell did that ever happen? So now it's time for the main event, the Kabuki Warriors versus Natalya and a mystery partner. This is your main event. This is the worst card ever for a Raw. So who's Natalya's mystery partner? Well, she had to pick a woman that takes her to her limits. Lacey Evans. Now they're buddies. All right, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Zero explanation. Right? They hate each other. She took her to her limits, so she wants her as a partner. Why would Lacey accept that? Why would Lacey accept that? Can we not have that explanation? No, she's just going to come out as a surprise mystery partner. Now they're buddies. That makes a lot of sense. This is the worst written show I like in the history of television. Like, you can't have a worse written show than WWE. Ever. This is terrible. So it's a non-title, but Asuka pins Lacey, so surprisingly, a non-title win for the champs. So now we go to the last segment. Now remember when I said at the beginning, hey, good hook, having Seth Rollins say he's going to find the Fiend. Nothing for 3 hours till right now. Nothing. Who forgot at this point and turned off the channel? It's not a hook 3 hours later when you don't keep reminding them all the way through. So Bray's in the funhouse, the blue wall. Says Seth is strong and brave and smart, but he, meaning the Fiend, never forgets. So the rabbit comes and warns him, Seth's coming, Seth's here. Bray tells the rabbit he's safe to go play. So then Rollins shows up, attacks Bray from behind, rips the pictures off the wall. Bray stands up, says, Seth, why are you doing this to me? Why? Seth beats him up some more. The crowd boos. So this is what gets the crowd to turn on Seth, not how he's like the cheesiest babyface ever, that he's destroying the funhouse. It was going to happen regardless, I think, but it's happening now. He's going to get booed. They like the Fiend. WWE doesn't get that. So he says, burn it down, and then he lights the table on fire, and supposedly the funhouse burns down. This fake funhouse, this stupid-ass blue wall that they probably hung the wrinkly curtain that Matt Hardy stood in front of. It's probably that same wall. Like, how lazy is this? Could you not thread this through the show? Seth Rollins, how he found the funhouse? Where is it located at? Why can't he be out driving in the woods at night? Dark, like looking like a horror movie. Asking people about this. People are scared. Make it a horror movie. He finally gets to the funhouse, like the Blair Witch cabin, like whatever the hell it is, and then he burns it down. And you actually use the actual set, and you put some effort and creativity and the money in this, instead of saying, I'm going to find the Fiend, and $3 later, he burns down a table and a wall. Like, this is the laziest shit ever. Bischoff already got fired. When's Heyman going to get fired? If this is Heyman, this is acceptable? It's the same thing as SmackDown. Exactly the same. Trash, guys. I suffer for you. Let me suffer through this. Don't you suffer. Because you support me. And I gladly do it. For you. But thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.